Hi there and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Cannon of the Gazette, joined by former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champions Chris Nilan, Rick Green, and Brian Skrudland. Well guys, playoffs are always the best time of the year, NHL playoffs especially, and there's nothing that beats a Game 7. Brian, what do you remember about Game 7s you played in, and is there one that maybe stands out the most?
Well, Stu, that very first year, round 2, Hartford, 4-3, we beat them. However, Nux hit on it earlier here. Dave Babbich's goal almost broke our backs with a minute to go in that game. You're feeling pretty optimistic. And back then, we didn't give up leads. I mean, the way that the momentum sort of swift changes these days, that just didn't happen back in our day. You had a 2-goal lead. Game was pretty much over. Maybe because Greeny and I put the latch on a lot of people. they couldn't skate anymore. But
hooking and holding when it was legal. Yeah.
You'd give us 10 minutes for holding the way we used to hold. Anyway, it's an exciting time and an opportunity for somebody, whoever it is. If you're dressing that night, you go out there with the opportunity of being that hero.
Knuckles, you have one that stands out. And what's it like sitting in the room before a Game 7?
It's that Game 7, Hartford for me. But what's it like? Listen, you try and keep it as normal as possible. Be yourself. You know your season's on the line. I remember against Hartford, I think Quebec we lost in game. I think it was the first round, Game 5. It was before the game. You got to be as normal as possible. Get ready, pay attention to what you have to do your job on the ice, and that's it. I mean, Game 7. I always say the home team has all the pressure, and I believe they do. And everybody, I know guys would say I'd rather play at home than on the road, and you probably would. But with that comes a lot of pressure. If you fall behind and you start chasing the game, it's trouble, and we've seen it. But, try and keep it as normal as possible.
I imagine maybe that Hartford game's the same for you, Rick. Is your favorite Game 7 or most memorable one?
Yeah, a lot of nerves, a lot of pressure that you feel when you get in those situations. And you know very well that somebody's going to be the hero and somebody's going to be the one that made the mistake. So in your mind, you really focused on what you needed to do every time you got on the ice and made sure that you did it to your max. And then we were fortunate we had a lot of guys that I believe felt the same way, that they were going to make the difference. They were going to find a way, and ultimately that Game 7 against Hartford, exactly that. One of our guys, Big Lemieux, found a way to get it done, and great memories.
Rick, you've been in
Game 7. Stu, we got into just Game 4 Stanley Cup Finals in '96 when I was with Florida. So it was in between the second and third overtime, and I said, "Okay, boys, that's it." I said, "I'm going. I got this one." And Terry Karkner, just without hesitation, stood up and said, "Boys, if we're going to wait for Screwy to score, this game ain't going to be over till Monday. So somebody else better get it." It's like, you asshole.
Rick, you've been in the room as a player and as a coach. What's the difference? Is it more nerve-wracking as a coach or as a player?
Probably as a player. I mean, as a coach, you're just trying to get the guys out there and use them in the right situations. But the players grab a hold of it. They know what's at stake. And, you're just hoping that one of those guys is not going to be the one to make one of those critical mistakes in the game. And it's a great experience. It's, like I said, it is nerve-wracking, but if you have a good group, you believe down deep that one of those guys is going to find a way to get it done.
Knuckles, that Game 7 against Hartford, I was in the Forum. I was the second to last row up in the Blues. So I remember everybody going crazy when Lemieux scored. In the locker room before that overtime, Did anybody get up and say anything, or what was the?
Yeah, it's just guys talk about keep the puck moving ahead, get everything at the net. It's just a lot of very like simple things that you should think about doing when you're in that situation in the game. You know, don't take any risks. Don't turn the puck over the blue lines. You know, those things. It's just, you know, that repetition is key to retention. I think a lot of things that are said, you know, are things that should be applied in the overtime. Everything at the net, go to the net, you know, back check it.
The KISS theory, keep it simple, screwy.
Yeah. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, gentlemen.
How do you control your nerves, though, Brian?
Well, you know what?
We're the coffee and a Sudafed.
You whack somebody, Stu. You just get out there and whack somebody. Get it over with.
You could borrow one of Lappy's sniffers.
I don't know what they're sniffing today, but nobody really seems to throw their head back too far. They need some more powerful stuff.
Yeah.
No, you know what? It's that time of year. You all want to be out there. I think that's the part of it. If you don't want to be on the ice at that time of the year or that time of the game, you weren't made for hockey. Everybody wants to be that guy or have that opportunity. So it's probably the greatest time of the year and greatest shift you can take.
Nothing beats Game 7, and Game 7 overtime is even extra special. Anyway, that's it for this bonus episode, our last of the week. We'll be back with our weekly Hockey Inside Out show next week. In the meantime, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. And you can also watch Hockey Inside Out now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.